Welcome to BeamNG 0.39, BeamNG's largest update ever. We just got a massive graphics rework, a new UI overhaul, a new vehicle, the Charrier Ardente, and much more. The first thing I want to take a look at is the brand new graphics. Let's start off with the new graphics settings, which show off some of the new UI changes as well. In the General tab, we have an EV compensation, which essentially just adjusts the brightness of your game. We also have HDR output if your display supports it. And if we go into the Graphics tab, we can now enable a dedicated vehicle shadow, which will make the shadow around your vehicle a higher resolution and less prone to that odd shimmering effect that we had in Beam before. We also have access to extended shadows, which in my testing only made a difference in a few places, and it really depends on the time of day. Unfortunately, we are still stuck with FXAA and SMAA as the game's only anti-aliasing options. It's still very ugly, but with this move to DirectX 12, that could open up the possibility for better native anti-aliasing in the future. This update broke the TAA mod that I showcased in my last video, so for now we're just going to have to kind of deal with it until things get updated. My favorite part of this update has to be the lighting changes. If we go on West Coast, it now has street lights, and the night driving is much more realistic. You're actually able to see around when you're driving at night, unlike before, and the headlights do look pretty good. There's reflections off of things like signs, license plates, and even other cars. It looks really good. However, I've ran into a kind of odd issue. It might just be because my monitor is an OLED, but what I've found is if you drive a car at night with a digital dash screen, it makes it really impossible to see out of your car pretty much no matter what. This isn't really an issue if you drive an older car like the Bolide, since it has analog gauges. But with the new vehicle, I'm not really able to drive this around at night. I just can't see anything because of this eye adaptation feature. And I've looked around and it doesn't seem like there's really any way to change this other than changing the EV compensation, which just blows everything else up and makes it look too bright. The eye adaptation is a really nice feature though. When you come out of a tunnel, you can see the lighting change way more naturally than it did before. So I think it's a good feature. They just need to let us be able to adjust it or tweak it for those of us with OLED monitors. I really can't drive this new car at night, and that's just a little disappointing. If you enjoy space, the devs really went all out and added a physically based night sky. So now the sky in-game is based on real astronomical values, including the Milky Way. I think this is a really cool feature. I've personally never seen this in any game whatsoever, let alone a car game. I highly encourage you to mess around with this and see what you can come up with yourself. With all that being said, we do have some bad news though. For the PS5 release, they are still planning on releasing it this year, but they still don't have an ETA. A lot of people thought that it would drop with this update, but it really just doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. And as I mentioned earlier with the UI update, photo mode has got even better. You can now tweak a lot of the settings inside of photo mode instead of having to back out and go to the world editor like you would have before. You can finally view your images in game through the gallery system here, and there's a lot of new quality settings to kind of sift through and play around with. And the photos look even better with the reworked graphics and better lighting improvements that we have. I think this is one of the most slept on changes so far, as before, if you try to get a photo inside of BeamNG, it was really hit or miss, but with the graphics rework and new lighting, photos just come out looking a lot more natural now, and with the graphics and lighting changes, things just come together so much easier without you having to fine tweak everything in the world editor. And now it's finally time to talk about the new vehicle, the Charrier Ardente. This is a two-door coupe that kind of reminds me of a Honda Civic in the front and a RCZ in the back. We have front wheel and all-wheel drive variants and even a track day version of the car. I've tried out all the variants, and so far the track day sequential is my favorite. I was able to get my Nordschleife track working and had a lot of fun ripping it around the track. Even the base model versions handle pretty well overall, and the interior detail is probably better than any other vanilla car that we have. Just look at the texture on the dash, and the lighting changes really bring it to life as well. Again, my biggest complaint is that I can't drive this car at night due to the eye adaptation feature, so hopefully they find a way to let us adjust that in the future. Let me know if you're also having that issue. That's really just drove me nuts. I've also already started seeing some custom mods for this vehicle show up on the repo, so be sure to check those out as well. And I'm really starting to think that the devs are trying to make BeamNG more into a driving simulator with each update. I know that they've had some rally focus here lately, but with 0.39, any moving vehicle can now influence the airflow of other objects. They've also added in slipstreaming, bump drafting, and side drafting, which is all very important for a sim racer. If you go into the environment tab, you can even now generate ground wind, and this will affect your car and any object that you spawn in as well. And when I was looking through the repo for new mods, I actually seen a tornado mod that's working, and it does generate ground wind as well. So really cool feature that we're already seeing mods for. I tried to mess around and see what objects that I could knock over with the air of this bus, but really the only object I was able to influence is flags and this small cone. I wasn't able to knock over this trash can or even tip this porta potty or move these tires whatsoever. I definitely feel like it should have influenced the trash can, but I guess we don't really have a way of knowing how much airflow this bus is generating anyways. So far, I really think their implementation for this is mainly for the rally driving so that you can influence things like cones and flags, but we'll just kind of have to wait and see if they expand on this. And the rally mode has got even better. We have some updated pace notes that now have their own different styles, like casual for more casual callouts, enthusiast, and pro. I'm absolutely terrible at rally driving, but I gave it a try with the casual pace notes, and it actually worked out better than I thought it would. So really cool feature to see. I don't know a lot of the pro rally callouts, so having a casual callout feature, I think it'll influence more people to try out the rally mode. We even have a new all gravel loop around Utah that you can try out. So really cool rally feature sprinkled in with all these updates here. To end things, I've seen a lot of complaints about the performance. I'm sure that we can expect more optimization to come soon, but for now, some things that you can try in game is to switch your renderer. This update added DirectX 12 like I mentioned earlier. We also still have DirectX 11 and Vulkan to choose from. I personally get the most performance on DirectX 12 now, but that's going to entirely depend on your system. The good news is that you can see how things affect your FPS in real time now, so make sure that when you change your settings, you're in game. I'll be making a new FPS and graphics optimization guide soon once we have more mods to try, but for now you're probably just going to have to lower your graphics if possible or try less intense maps. And that's update 0.39 in a nutshell. I think it's fair to call this BeamNG's biggest update that's ever dropped. DirectX 12 alone opens the door for a lot down the line, and the new car, the Charrier Ardente, might be the best detailed vanilla car that we've got yet. If you add that in with the new aero, wind system, and rally overhaul, there's honestly a lot here to keep me busy for weeks, and it's going to be even better when all of our mods get updated. So let me know in the comments below what you're most excited to try about this update. Sorry I got this out a little bit late, life's just been a little busy lately. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll have an updated guide on FPS and graphics optimization soon for you all.